Welcome back to Not Another Pair. Today I've got the Brooks Glycerin Max here, and I've got about 10 miles on these shoes now, and at first I wasn't really sure that this was going to stick into my lineup, but as I still form my opinion here and get more time with the shoe, I think they have a nice place as a long run shoe for me. Starting off, they've got a huge stack, and I actually think they look pretty good for a Max stack trainer. They have a 6mm drop, and when I first stepped foot in them, the first thing I noticed was this rocker at the front. It definitely feels pretty tippy as you are walking around. During a run, I actually think the stack and the rocker geometry that they have here works really good together. So this shoe features a little bit of a softer foam in the heel, in the rear, and then you see the yellow portion inside up front that's a little bit of a different density foam, and the rocker works really nice with this to roll me through my stride. I was worried about that tippy feeling when I try shoes on and I kind of feel like I'm gonna fall forward just walking. That usually is a sign that I may not like it, but I think the way that the gentle rocker in the rear combines with the softer foam, it really rolls you through the stride nicely. On previous iterations of Brooks shoes, like the Ghost or even the regular Glycerin 21, I wasn't a huge fan of the rocker. It felt too steep in the heel and then was like way too flat, and then had a pretty good toe off. But I was used to the Hoka rocker that does kind of glide you through the stride. It doesn't really feel like there's a flat spot in the Hoka rocker. And when you look at the Brooks Glycerin Max from the side, you can definitely, it looks like the classic Brooks rocker. It looks like it's going to be flat in the middle, but with the squish of the foam while you're running, I actually, these shoes don't feel slappy to me. They don't feel like my, heel hits and then I'm instantly slapped onto my forefoot. It does feel really nice while you're running. They call this foam DNA tuned, so you can actually see on the bottom of the shoe the different densities. The white foam, this reminds me a little bit of what Saucony is doing. You can kind of see it almost looks like styrofoam, right? This little bit of lower density white foam in the rear, you can kind of see the little beads in there, and then you have to look really closely at the yellow foam to tell, but you can definitely see it visually, and I think it looks great. I mean, the Brooks designers deserve a lot of credit here. Throughout the lineup, they've been making changes that make me actually want to buy a pair of Brooks shoes and lace them up and have them on my feet while I run. Overall, I like the foam a lot. I think it's really comfortable. I definitely noticed a difference on my first long run, how my legs felt afterwards. And I wore them this morning just for a couple of miles to refresh my thoughts, but I feel the same way. My legs don't feel super tired. Now, I didn't run all that long or all that fast for me, particularly today, but I definitely do think they protect the foot and the joints, and the massive stack of foam is a welcome change in the Brooks lineup for me. The one thing I'm not wild about with the shoes is probably the tongue and the lacing system. I mean, the tongue is fine. It's kind of just like the Glycerin tongue. The lacing system does kind of give me some pressure points towards the top of the ankle, and on the right side, I usually have to fiddle with it in order to get it just right, and so I'm not thinking about it and it's not annoying and not too loose that my heel is slipping out, but also not too tight that I'm getting pain through the top of the ankle. Now, at $200, these shoes are definitely in the expensive bucket in my book, but when you compare to other shoes in this category in the market, the obvious comparison is the Superblast or the Superblast 2. Both of those came out at $200 with their premium foams as well. From a market perspective, the MSRP is in line with the competitors. From me as somebody who likes to buy and review running shoes perspective, I wish they were a little bit cheaper, but I understand the R&D that goes into a shoe like this, so it does make sense, although it will price out certain people from being able to afford and buy this shoe because it's not versatile enough, I don't think, to be your only daily trainer. I actually think the Superblast fits better in that category, and I'll do a follow-up video as I run in the Superblast 2 more. I do think this is the obvious competitor to the Brooks Glycerin Max in terms of what they were built for, so we'll go through pros and cons of these two shoes in a video later. The upper on the shoe is really nice, and I actually like the way most Brooks fit in the forefoot. They tend to have a little bit more room, for me at least, across their range, and the materials in the upper are nice. It breathes well. I like the heel counter in the rear, and overall it's a pretty comfortable upper, minus my few little gripes with the lacing system, which could just be my foot. This is a really comfortable shoe, as it should be for, what is essentially a long run, easy run type of shoe. And so far, it's still winter here in Connecticut, so I do only have treadmill miles on this shoe so far. The rubber has held up great. You really can't even tell that I've run in this shoe at all so far. And it's got rubber in all of the right places, I think. So we will test that out. Despite what the groundhog says, I'm hoping for an early spring so I can get some more road miles in. But so far, I think the Brooks Glycerin Max is a great looking max stack shoe. I like the new DNA tuned foam better than the previous, nitrogen infused stuff in the Ghost. I think that's a great addition to the Brooks lineup. I love the design of the shoe. I think it looks great both on foot and, sitting here on video. So as I run in it, I'll give you a long-term review after I get a few more miles on it, maybe a few more months on it at this rate. But for now, I'm really liking the Brooks Glycerin Max, and it is my training companion to the ASICS NovaBlast 5. So NovaBlast 5 is kind of my everyday miles. If I need to do some tempo runs or even a little bit of speed work, I'll throw the NovaBlast 5 on there. But anytime an easy day or a long run comes up in my schedule, I'm reaching for the Brooks Glycerin Max. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you picked it up, tried it on, head over to your local running store and try it out. See if they have it. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Stay tuned for more shoe review videos here on Not Another Pair. I'm Bill. Until next time. Later.